Welcome to the Moms That Read podcast. I'm Kaylee.
I'm McKenzie.
And I'm Katarina. Today we have a special guest with us. He is a newly famous book talker, but he is pretty famous for some other stuff too. So we'll let him introduce himself.
Hey guys, it's Luke Bateman here. Obviously, Luke reads on TikTok. I'm so excited to join you girls and talk everything books.
Yes.
We're excited to have you. We've been looking forward to this.
Yeah.
We also have found out a couple extra things like that you're kind of famous for since all of this.
We Googled you.
Yeah. So I don't know if you want to kind of start with that.
We found you on Book Talk first, but we didn't know you played professional rugby.
Yeah. So I played 3 years of professional rugby here in Australia. I was in the NRL, which I suppose is a little bit similar to the NFL, but on a much smaller platform with a much smaller population, of course. So that was obviously I enjoyed that. Strange. I look back on my sort of rugby career a bit weirdly. It was sort of they were kind of the environments that I was in where I sort of had to wear a mask, and they were the environments and the men around that made me hide my books and hide my love reading and things like that. So obviously I enjoyed my time playing professionally, but it was also probably not the most healthy and favorite part of my life in many ways.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense. We also might have seen that you were the Bachelor.
Yeah. Yeah, the Australian Bachelor is much smaller than the American Bachelor though. So
Still, I was obsessed with The Bachelor growing up. Not as much anymore, but I saw that and I was like, well, dang, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, my season was the last season before it got canned. Like nobody watched it at all. So
I doubt that.
Well, people who found you on Book Talk might not know that about you though, so that's pretty neat.
Yeah. Okay, but I also saw it was you and like a couple other bachelors, right?
Yeah, so I think the last 2 seasons in Australia they did 3 blokes. So it was like the Bachelors. Yeah, so it was me and
that's
2.
a little bit different.
Are y'all all dating the same people?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it's kind of like Bachelor in Paradise.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit in a way, I
Okay.
suppose. Look, I was never big on reality TV, and I haven't watched any since. So it's
It's probably like culture shock.
It was an interesting experience. It was enjoyable. It's not something I would do again. Not
Makes sense.
not out of hate or anything, but it was an interesting experience.
Nice.
So you want to get into the questions?
Yeah. So we always start with talking about our recent reads, like what we're like either reading right now or what we've just finished reading. So what are you currently reading?
Okay, at the moment I'm reading The Rain Wild Chronicles by Robin Hobb. I've just finished the 2nd book. I'm on to the 3rd book. I'm also, as you probably know, I'm on the 3rd book of Akajar. So A Court of Wind and Wind and Ruin. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Wings and Ruin.
Yeah, Winds and Ruin. So I'm reading that. I'm about 2/3 of the way through it at the moment. And I literally just finished Stephen King's On Writing book, which is just him speaking about, how to write. And I have one. And I've just started Red Rising as well.
Okay, I read the first book and I didn't love it.
I want to read it so bad.
I've never heard of it.
You've never heard of Red Rising?
No.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because I've seen everyone say that it's like so good, but I'm probably about halfway through the Red Rising, and I'm I enjoy it, but I'm not like totally like the way people talking about it. I was like, this book is gonna blow me away, and I'm sort of like, oh, it's just it's just a standard book.
Honestly, I loved it until the whole EO dying thing. And then once they started the games, which was what I was excited about, I was like, this is not great.
Yeah. Well, I wholeheartedly agree with you on that because like that to begin with, I was very hooked. But then when it went into like a real Hunger Games type situation,
Yes.
I'm the exact same. Like that's where it sort of lost me a bit because I'm kind of like, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm finding it hard to buy into that.
I was very much like hoping for Hunger Games-esque, and I just didn't feel like it lived up.
Yeah, I would say I was probably hoping for it not to be Hunger Games-esque, and I'm finding it to be that way. So
Interesting. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll finish the series?
Oh, absolutely. I can't.
Okay.
I can't start a series and not finish it.
Yeah.
Have you
We
ever?
are all the opposite.
Yeah, we're like,
Really?
no, if this sucks, we're out. We're out.
Really? How? I
Yes.
don't. Tell me how. Like how you're.
Okay, well, have you ever DNF'd a book? Like, have you ever just not finished a book?
No, I can't. I cannot do that. That's what I mean.
A book. I have a harder time DNFing a book, but if I don't like the book, I won't finish the series. Like,
Yeah.
I just read our book club book was On Wings of Blood. I don't know if you've seen that.
No.
I did not like it,
I
so I
loved
will
it.
not read the series.
I don't want to read the series. It's
Yeah.
not
Right. How many? See, actually, I will say this. You know, The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan.
I've heard you
I-
talk about it.
Yeah, well, it's 13 books or 14 books, and I only got to book 5 of it, and I DNF'd. But
Yeah.
but I will finish it in my lifetime. So I'm sort of like in my head, I'm like, that's just on pause.
Okay, are you reading all of these series simultaneously? Like, do you take a turn and like rotate them, or do you?
Yeah,
How
so-
are you reading them?
Well, obviously because I work all day and I'm in a tractor
Right.
like 10 hours a day, I listen to a lot of audiobooks. So I usually do
Mhm.
like one book for the morning, and then I'll have lunch, and then I'll do one book for the afternoon, and then I will have either one or two physical books on the go at the same time, and I'll sort of like read them at night and alternate between them at night time. Yeah. Yeah. But mainly I'll swap on the audiobooks because obviously I have so much time just to listen to audiobooks, so I'll sort of jump
right.
around between those. Yeah.
So do you listen while you work?
Yeah. So all day I was like headphones.
I would love that.
Headphones.
That's kinda
Just
what I do when I
yeah.
listen.
Nice.
This
Okay,
is-
so I have an
That-
ACOTAR question. Okay,
Yeah.
So
She's been dying to ask this.
after you finished the first book, what were your thoughts on Tamlin? Were you a Tamlin hater or were you a Tamlin supporter?
Okay, so when I finished the first book, I was confused because I couldn't work out what I felt towards Tamlin was I couldn't work out whether he was a like a royal sort of person that I should respect, or whether he was like a frat boy. So I was getting both sort of vibes. Like sometimes I was like, oh, this bloke's like a frat boy, and then other times I'm like, oh, he's like protecting his kingdom sort of thing. And I was like, I don't know where I land on this.
Mhm.
So I was confused at the end of ACOTAR as to how I felt about him. But obviously since then it's become very clear.
Yes.
Yes.
I think we all had that moment where we were like, hey, I like Tamlin. And then they're like, okay,
Just
you
keep
tell me
reading.
how you feel about that in the next book.
I would say, like, to begin with, when he very first came into the book, like when he took Feyre back to his place, and like off the bat, he's kind of like, "You're not a prisoner here. Like, eat your food. I'm not your jailer, sort of thing. Do whatever you want." I was kind of like, "Oh, this seems like a nice bloke."
Yeah. And
But-
now he is like who I compare every single villain to.
And
Yeah.
he's
I'm like,
blonde.
yeah. He's
Yeah.
a Tamlin.
Well,
Do you know the whole blonde theory?
No, what's the blonde theory?
If in fantasy books, if a character is blonde, they typically end up bad.
Except for one.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
blonde is bad, I suppose. That reminds me of like Draco Malfoy in Harry Potter, but I mean he's more.
Yep.
Exactly.
Although, have you read Manacled?
No, I haven't. I've never.
He
heard
is
of it.
not bad in that one.
Oh, okay.
It's like a fanfic, but it's like blowing up right now.
Oh, yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
So
Okay.
you liked Harry Potter.
I was about to say, were you a
as
Harry
a
Potter fan?
Yeah.
child?
But the thing is that I haven't read the books. I've watched the series. I was just talking. Yeah, I know. And
Yep.
every,
That's me.
Right.
You need to read them.
everyone's always like, the books are so
Or
much better.
listen
You
to them.
have
I've
to
heard
read
the
the book.
audios are great.
Okay,
But
actually,
there's
well, that's
so much more backstory in the books.
yeah. Well, everyone says that. Everyone says like the books are just so much better. But I kind of feel like because I watched the movies growing up and I know everything that happens. Like I really struggle to be like, okay, I'm gonna go back and read the books now.
Okay, but did you read Twilight?
No, I never read Twilight.
Good.
Yeah. I remember, I actually always have a real, like, I remember when Twilight, the very first Twilight came out, because I was at the library, I was at the local library, I was in primary school, it would have been primary school, I was at the local library, and I was kind of like asking the librarian, I was like, oh, what's new or what can I read? And she goes, oh, this book, like, everyone loves this book, it's about vampires.
You're like, nah.
And I was like, I remember all the time. I'm like, now that I know what Twilight's about, I look back at that moment. I'm like, that librarian was trying to give me like a smart book. Like
It's not smut.
Nah, yeah, I know. But she's selling it to me as like she's like, oh, this book's about vampires.
But
And
now
I know
you're reading Akatar.
Yeah, and now I know what it is. I'm kind of like, man, I don't think that librarian had my best interest at heart, eh?
That is so
Like,
funny.
oh, that's
So
good.
after you finish Akatar, are you going to read Throne of Glass?
Well, everyone's been telling me like my comments are just full of Throne of Glass, Throne of Glass, Throne of Glass, and everyone says that I'll like it more because it's obviously more adventure and quest and less romance. So I will get to it, but I'd like to go to a different author in the genre because because I want to go on.
May we suggest Fourth Wing?
Well, yes, you may suggest Fourth Wing. I'll allow it.
Because
We're obsessed.
Yeah, obsessed.
Yeah, well, obviously it's such a massive hit. I do hate starting series when they haven't been finished though. Like, because I get through books so quickly. I could finish them in a month, and then I'm like, oh my god, I have to wait the next 5 years to finish sort of thing. So,
okay, but Akatar's not finished,
isn't it?
No, she's supposed to come out at least with I think 2 other books.
Yeah.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, but she's being sketchy.
Yeah. Okay.
I will say what?
No go.
I jumped. I did all audiobooks for Throne of Glass, and I went into Throne of Glass and audiobooks. It's the easiest thing to listen to. So if that's what you have time for, I have 1 book left after I finish. There's like a tandem read where you're listening to them at the same time. And that has been, it's like 45 hours of an audiobook, but I'm almost finished with it. It's a lot. It's a lot.
I just did the Stormlight Archives on audiobook, and the last book, Wind and Truth, is 56 hours.
Okay.
Yeah,
no.
Oh my God.
If it's more than 10, I'm out.
Really? Yeah. See, I like them to be around that 20, I reckon. Like 20 is a good place for me. Yeah.
I can read faster than that. I don't like audiobooks.
Disclaimer, she only reads the dialogue in the book.
Really?
That's true.
No, I will say if I'm sort of like speed reading, I will just jump to dialogue.
I can't.
Oh, I can't either.
Thank you.
I will. Yeah. It's not all the time, but if I'm kind of like real bored with the passage, I will just skip through dialogue. Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
If I'm bored with it, then I'll just kind of like skip through it.
Yeah, you can skim it.
Yeah.
You get the gist.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Okay, Kaylee didn't ask this, but she was going to. What Harry Potter house are you?
Oh. What are there? There's Hufflepuff, Gryffindor, Slytherin, and
Ravenclaw.
Oh. I'd probably be a Ravenclaw, I reckon.
That's me.
You're with her.
100%. I would much rather just be like learning and reading books.
Yeah.
You're probably Gryffindor.
I think I'm a Gryffindor.
You're like Brandon. You're probably a Gryffindor.
Anything but does anyone be like, yeah, I'm definitely Slytherin? Would anyone put themselves in that category?
I mean,
Draco Malfoy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have friends that I'm like, no, you're 100% a Slytherin.
Absolutely.
But would they
So-
say they were?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Well, the girl that I'm talking about, she doesn't know anything about Harry Potter, so
I
she doesn't.
100% feel like the Slytherins know they're Slytherin and own up to it. You know,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
they're like,
okay.
yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
Slytherin.
I think maybe when I go on a first,
Yeah.
maybe when I'm like on a first date from now on, my vetting like question has to be like, what Harry Potter house would you put yourself
If
in?
they say
Absolutely.
Slytherin, you better
Yeah,
out.
that's
Sorry.
Red
Thank you.
flag. That's hilarious. That's a great
That is
first
a
Honestly,
great
that's-
question.
That's
Yeah.
a great first question.
That is a good question.
So, what made you want to start a book talk?
Yeah, well, because I work, I don't know how well you know Australian geography, but yeah. So I work I work in Western Queensland, and I am so remote and isolated. Like, it's not strange for me to go 2 or 3 weeks at a time and just see my old man, like my dad, because him and I work together. And so it's honestly not strange for me to go like 3 weeks without seeing a single other human but him.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I'd
so
love
I'm
that,
yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, I'm like super, super isolated. And I just wanted to, because obviously, like, I love books. I've read books my whole life. I was talking to one of my friends. I was just like, I just want people to talk about books with, because I listen to 2 or 3 books a week. I'm like, I just want to talk to some people about this.
Yeah.
And she said, oh, you should get on TikTok, because there's a whole section on TikTok called Book Talk,
Yeah.
where people just talk about books. And I was like, that's exactly what I need. And I just put up that first video, and obviously, it
went viral.
Yeah,
Very, very viral.
Yeah, I just honestly, it was pretty overwhelmed. Like, I just wanted 5 people to nerd
Right.
out. Like, I just
Well,
We have 175,000 now.
yeah. So it's been a lot more, and it's been super interesting. It's been a real learning curve, I suppose, because Book Talk definitely was not what I had in mind when I like got into it. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So, and I'm still
wild.
learning this landscape, I suppose. Yeah.
so you just signed a 2-book deal.
Yeah, I did.
That's awesome.
It is
Yeah,
awesome.
congrats.
A lot of people are very unhappy about it, but
Well, we are very excited for you
Yeah,
and
that's-
cannot wait to
That's
read
ridiculous.
No, yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. Oh, look, I'm personally, like, obviously very excited about it. I've had the book that I'm writing. Well, I went to the publisher and pitched 5 books.
Mhm.
But the main one that I pitched, the one that like I'd obviously had like fleshed out and already started writing for myself, because I started writing about 6 months ago, just as like a passion project.
Yeah.
And I said I don't want to die and not have written a book. Like,
Right.
that was like I was just like, that is my goal. Like, I just want to write a book. If nobody sees it, like, just for me, because I don't want to get to the end of my life and look back and go, damn, I wish I had have written a book.
Yeah.
So I started that like 6 months ago, and I actually pitched it to a publisher 6 months ago, and they never got back to me. And I was like, sweet. And then, so obviously with the TikTok stuff, I was talking to my manager, and I just said, I got a manager, and I said, I want to write a book. I want to write this book. So we went to Simon Schuster. I pitched 5 books to him, but the main one I pitched was this trilogy. And they were like, yeah, like, we love it. Let's do it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So,
And it's fantasy, right?
yeah, but high fantasy. So it's not, there'll be no smart. There's no
Like,
smart.
I will
Yeah.
read that.
Sorry.
gladly.
Katarina does not like
I'm not
smut.
into that stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good.
So like Brandon Sanderson type.
Yeah, I would say along the lines of, like, I obviously love like Robin Hobb, Peter V. Brett. I don't know whether you've read any of him. Even if you've read any Matthew Riley, like, sort of, they would be sort of like my influences when I write. But definitely, definitely that high fantasy where it's a magical world. There's obviously magic and sort of magical creatures and whatnot. Yeah, so
That's awesome.
yeah, so I'm really really excited about it actually. Yeah, I can't wait. I've already started, like I'm already writing, and it's super easy for me to write because this story has lived with me for 10 years now,
Yeah.
and as I've sort of grown and gone through some really hard personal and inner battles in my life, like the story's sort of grown with them, and it's the themes in the book are the themes that I've sort of dealt with in my life, so it's kind of like putting myself on the page.
Yeah.
So I know exactly what the story is. I have all the chapter synopsises written out. I have the whole trilogy arc fully done and ready, and now I'm just like putting my words on the page.
Wow,
That's
that's
awesome.
awesome.
We are excited for you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
don't take any of the negative criticism.
Were you
No,
like,
but-
were you prepared for all the negative pushback on TikTok? Like, was that something you expected?
No, not at all. But I also,
Right.
it is so like I have so much love and empathy for that, like, because to have such a, I would say, like such a severe reaction to something truly means like it means so much to these people, and I have no idea what kind of life they've had or the experiences or the obstacles they've had to overcome. Like I don't know that, and their response comes from like obviously a place of anger and pain.
Right.
And it's really possible to hold two truths at the same time. Like I am excited for myself, and it's such a dream come true. But it's also like I also wholeheartedly understand that for so many other people, they see that, and that is such a kick in the guts. Like so, it's possible to hold both of those truths and have a lot of empathy and love for everyone who feels that way about it. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I always say hurt people. So
Yeah. Well,
but
I also like hate doesn't defeat hate. Like only love can really achieve any good in the world. So I do question the sort of, I would say, the method.
Well,
But,
people
yeah.
become very brave behind a keyboard.
Right.
Keyboard
So,
warriors.
yeah.
and you are like literally such a genuine person, and everybody can see that. So
Oh, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah.
we're excited. I love trilogies too. I
Hey,
think
maybe it could be a
trilogies are
book
the
club book
best.
when it comes out.
Yeah, we'll make it our book club book when it comes out.
Well, I'm so scared now to like, I want to do it justice and make sure it's a great book for everyone to read, because as I said, it really is, it's very close to my heart.
Yeah.
The story is really close to my heart, and so
I
I
feel
will
like
be,
those are the best books, though.
yeah. It will be my soul on the page, so
Mhm.
negative criticism of it will really hurt me.
Don't read the negative criticism.
No.
Oh, would you tour after your book comes out?
Oh, absolutely! Like I would love to. I would
To the
absolutely love to.
States?
I mean, if the demand was there, and
Okay, if you come to Greenville, South Carolina, we will make sure the demand is there.
okay, I see your South Carolina's okay. I love.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Greenville is like the #1 city in America right now, so it's a good place to come.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay, that's where everyone wants to be.
Mhm.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it on the beach?
No.
No, we're like 5 hours from the beach.
Well, it's
Yeah,
free from Charleston.
Hey, that's fine with me. I'm not a beach person anyway.
We're
so
more
that's
in the
fine.
mountains.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh well. Look. Hopefully, let's hope that it's successful enough that I get the opportunity to do that and I can come to Greensville.
Oh,
That would be
gosh, yes.
great.
Absolutely.
So you may not even have an answer to this because you may not know, but what do you think the timeline on that first book would be?
Well, I hope to have it finished and delivered by the end of the year.
Oh
And
my gosh. Okay. I was thinking
Yeah.
like 3 or 4 years from now.
oh no.
Okay.
Oh.
He's like,
No.
no.
No way. I've already got well over 10,000 words written.
wow.
And as I said, like it's truly just I know exactly what the story is. Like I know every single chapter. I have the entire thing mapped out. I've been through it in my head 1,000 times. So now it's just actually, word for word.
Yeah. How long is it going to be?
Mm,
Like page-wise, do you know?
I don't know page-wise because I have no idea about
Yeah.
publication as such, but I would say between 120 and 150K, I reckon.
Words.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I've got 29 chapters, and I would
Okay,
expect
that's awesome.
I would expect most chapters to be anywhere from 4 to 6K. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
When you were younger, did you want to write fantasy or write at
Yeah.
all?
I always wanted to have a fantasy book of my own because when I was growing up, I was such a dreamer, and my mum always she hated me as a kid because I would just always be checked out of reality. Like I would just daydream constantly, and mum would always be up me. But I always wanted to have, like, when I'd read fantasy books and even like watch fantasy movies, I was always like I want to live in that world.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was always a massive dream, and I always wanted to create my own world and my own story. But I always thought that it was just a pipe dream. Like when you watch a movie, and you're like, I'd love to be a movie star one day. Like
Yeah.
I just thought it was a dream, or something like that, where it's like, oh, I'd love to write a book, but that's just a pipe dream. So now that it actually is something like tangible, and it's gonna become like true for me.
Yeah.
It's so, as I said in my video, it like makes me cry because
Yeah.
my inner child is just like, this is incredible. We get to make our own world. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's so good.
So what book as a kid got you into reading?
So the very first series or fantasy series I remember reading was when I was 10 years old, and it was P.B. Kerr, Children of the Lamp. That was like the series.
Mhm.
And it was about twin brother and sister who were like descendant of like these. They were like in this magical family,
Uh-huh.
and the world had jinns in it, like DJINN, and they were like genies, and
Okay.
Oh.
yeah. And they sort of like went on these cool, epic, like magic adventures, and it was set on Earth, and they went on like these cool, epic adventures, like on Earth, like magic carpets and stuff like that. So that was the very
Nice.
first,
Oh.
yeah,
Like
that was the very
Yeah.
first series
That's
that
what I
got
was
me.
thinking too.
I have them on my bookshelf. I should I'm gonna do a series. I'll do a series about where to start for young kids.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. Oh, that'd be so good.
I have an 8-year-old who's super into reading. So
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
love that. It's
I have a
so.
4-year-old that thinks he has his own podcast. He comes in here and podcasts all the time.
Oh, really? Oh, I love that. I love that so much. I love seeing like little kids like invest in that and having large imaginations. It's so important.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, based on, having an imagination, if you could have dinner with a fictional character, who would it be?
Oh, my favorite character of all time is Fitz or Fitzchivalry Farseer from Robin Hobb's Our Realm of the Elderlings books. But I'm not sure whether he would be like a great dinner guest because he can be quite like, he's quite like sad. And I feel I feel like he'd be real downer on the mood.
Like a mood
But I
killer.
think if you've ever read Raymond E. Feist's Rift War arc, which is 36 books and still going,
Oh my gosh.
but there's a character in his books, probably only for the first 6 or 7, called Jimmy the Hand. And I think
Oh.
Jimmy the Hand's probably, he's one of my all-time favorite characters out of any book series, and I'd love to have dinner with him.
I think I've seen you comment about Jimmy the Hand before.
Yeah, there's
Your comment.
there's been Jimmy the Hand comments, a heap of them, because he's just like, you couldn't read those books and not be like, that's my favorite character.
That's hilarious. Okay, so
Yeah.
if you could be in a fictional world, what world would you be in?
I would love to be in Peter V. Brett's. I can't think of what his world is called, but Peter V. Brett, his Demon War saga, which is the Painted Man, which is my favorite book of all time. I'd love to live in that world. Pretty dangerous world to live in because when the sun goes down, demons come out every night. So
I'm out.
So you have to like hide. So everyone like hides behind like wards at night, so that like keep the demons out. But that's just, I think it's just such a cool world. Like that's my favorite world to read in. I think, I just think the magic system and obviously the demons are just like so cool. So that'd be the world I'd want to be in.
That honestly sounds like a video game my son plays because
what's the game?
Minecraft.
Oh.
But like during the day, it's fine. You can walk around, but as soon as it turns night, all of the creepers is what they call them come out.
Yeah.
I thought Minecraft was like a building game.
It is, but when it gets
so you
dark,
can't build at night without.
Right.
Interesting.
Like Minecraft.
Interesting.
So we had a couple people ask questions, and one of them was really good.
Yeah.
Is it hard finding books to read when so many of them are directed toward a female audience?
That is such a good question.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm only sort of, because I've just started with ACOTAR and I'm sort of just like branching out into that genre as such, because I've mainly obviously stuck to all the classics in epic fantasy. I probably find it's probably a little bit hard for me to say at the moment on that subject because, as I said, I've only read Sarah J. Maas really in that space, and I would like to have read more of a breadth of authors before I could say whether or not that style of writing and it being geared towards a female audience does affect me. But I will say with ACOTAR, I probably do get the vibe that I am not the intended reader.
Yeah. Well, I will say, okay, so
either.
ACOTAR is very, I like fantasy. I don't read a lot of like epic fantasy, but ACOTAR is very heavy on the romantasy. But I think if you continue to branch off, I think you'll find some really good series that are like, Throne of Glass is not
Much
anywhere
better.
close to what she wrote with ACOTAR, and it's very fantasy driven, and there's a lot of good, like Daughter of No Worlds is a massive series that's very fantasy driven with not a lot. It's like sprinkled in romance.
Yeah.
The
So
Book
I think,
of Asriel.
Actually, honestly, Book of Asriel is on my, like, I'll be reading in the next month or two because everyone said Book of Asriel. And when when I've looked into it, I'm like, that interests me.
Metal Slingers probably too.
Absolutely loved the Book of Asriel. It's one of my top books. And there's no spice until 80% in, and there's one scene, and that is it.
That's it, yeah. So, I'm not, a lot of people have sort of commented and been like, oh, because I've sort of had an issue with the romance in ACOTAR. Everyone's like, oh, obviously romance isn't for you. But I'm like, no, the romance isn't the problem. I actually enjoy the romance.
Yeah.
It's how it's written that I struggle with. Like, I feel like instead of it being a story that like combines, I feel like you get dragged from one story to the other, and that's what I struggle with. Like, I think, like, I personally think that there would be many books out there that blend them in together sort of seamlessly. Yeah.
Did you know what you were getting into when you read ACOTAR, or did you just jump in?
No, I didn't. Obviously, and I mean,
I have not finished the series because I didn't like it.
Yeah.
So
I will say the last one, Silver Flames.
Do not read that one, please. I'm begging you. Do not read that one.
Like ACOTAR, A Court of Mist and Fury, Silver Flames. It's up there on the spice rack.
And it's very descriptive.
It's
very descriptive, and it makes you uncomfortable.
If you're listening to the audiobook.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
I do. Yeah. No, fair enough.
Well,
Go to the box.
Don't listen to that one.
It was wild.
So, what is your favorite trope in a book?
When you say trope, please elaborate.
Like
Enemies to lovers.
micro genre, I guess. Would that be the
I
best way
would
to say?
say, I would have to say, I'm a big coming of age story. I'm
Okay.
a big, like I'm a big sort of, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Like I like when they start as sort of, a nobody, and they work their way up, and they, have trials and tribulations and go from sort of strength to strength and
Like
end up.
finding oneself.
Yeah. Like finding themselves and developing themselves and becoming stronger.
So maybe you would like Red Rising, honestly, because that's what Red Rising is.
Well, yeah, it is. I think this thing I struggle with Red Rising is it's super heavy on sci-fi, and I'm not against sci-fi, but it's like really, really sci-fi, and I'm kind of, and I'm not like that's not what I sort of am immediately drawn to.
Yeah,
but
no,
but the coming of age story or trope is probably my favorite one. Yeah.
So when you get to Throne of Glass, you're gonna love it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So then, least favorite trope. What like makes you cringe when you read it?
I don't know. That's a great question. I'm just trying to think about books that I don't like. I would say, I'd have to say the very obvious ones. Like if I can see, like I would say like obvious romance when it's like they just like they bring two people together and you're just like, oh, I can see exactly what's going to happen here.
Insta love.
Anything that's telegraphed to me, where it's not where I know before anything happens, you're like, oh, that author has just told me exactly what I can expect in the future. Yeah. Anything that like in that space, I don't really like. I'm just trying to think of like a good example. So when, like, if there's a girl and a boy and they sort of like hate each other, I suppose the enemies to lover trope. Like as soon as it's thrown in and you see them like fighting and you're just like, I know exactly what's going to happen here. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. There needs to be some like element of surprise.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Ugh, I get that. Y'all have anything else?
No. Do
you have any questions for us?
Oh, what do you girls like? What's your favorite books?
Fourth Wing.
Fourth Wing.
Kingdom of Ash, which is the last book in Throne of Glass.
Okay.
I like anything by Kristen Hanna, but you probably haven't read her.
No, I haven't read her. No. Is she romantic?
Yeah. No.
Just romantic. Yeah.
Like the Nightingale.
I think I've got to read some just normal real world romance. To get a feel.
Read Colleen Hoover.
Read Rebecca Yarros.
Really? Okay. Well, it's funny because I've just joined like the local book club, and our book for next month is Verity.
Oh.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I'm quitting this one.
There's some like weird,
really hard to read content in that book.
Okay.
Well, it's definitely it's not something you can predict, but
and it's a good book club book because there's a lot of things you can talk about, but it's hard to read, honestly.
Okay.
I would say Rebecca Yarros does contemporary romance really well.
Yeah.
And like The Things We Leave Unfinished, it's like 4 POVs from World War II to modern times, and it's not something you can predict. It's really good. She does.
You might honestly like Wilder, actually.
Okay. All right. Well,
Daredevil on a cruise ship.
I didn't realize that Rebecca Yarros had written, but had published others before Fourth Wing.
Yeah.
So so I'll have to look into that.
She is mainly a contemporary romance writer. We read a book a couple of weeks ago that was published in 2016.
Yeah.
So she's been around for a while with those kind of books.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that'll be where I start then.
Yeah.
You won't be disappointed with Fourth Wing. Or any of her books, really.
Yeah.
Except for Comfort and Joy. No, wait, that's Kristen Hanna.
That's Kristen Hanna.
Never mind.
That was a horrible. Everyone said Fourth Wing, so I think maybe I have to, maybe once I'm finished that, I'll get into Fourth Wing.
Yeah.
And I think they just came out with the dramatized audio, right?
Oh yeah. Have you listened to dramatized audio?
I have listened to dramatized audio,
Yeah.
and I enjoy it, but I don't. Not the smut scenes.
So you listen to Akatar dramatized?
Yeah, I listened.
Oh.
I listened to the first book of. I listened to A Court of Thorns and Roses on graphic audio, and
McKenzie and I were just talking about how uncomfortable those scenes are.
It's rough.
it's
Dramatic.
yeah. I actually like. I can actually get in. I can get into the spice when it's just written, like, or narrated normally. But when they're doing like the growling and all that sort of stuff, I'm like, nah. I'm just.
Okay.
The same conversation we just
Yes,
had.
because Akatar has all the weird things in it because they're not humans. And I told her,
Yeah.
I was like, I'd be driving to work at 7:30 in the morning, and that scene would play, and I'm just like, okay, this is a weird way to start the day, but
Yeah.
But I've seen Red Rising has graphic audio, so I actually
Ooh.
I didn't find that out until after I started the normal audio. So I think for the
Okay.
next book of the Red Rising trilogy, I'll probably do graphic audio for it.
I
Oh,
probably would continue if I knew that. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. There's
Yeah.
also a board game. I don't know if you're into board games, but Red Rising is a board game too.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I do enjoy board games. I don't have much time for them, but
That's actually what got me into the book. I was like, this is a really fun game. Oh,
really
it's a
fun
book.
game. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'll look into it.
Yeah. But awesome. Well, this was fun.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been such a
Yeah.
fun. I really, really appreciated this. Yeah, this has been awesome.
Yeah, it has
Thanks
been.
for
We
coming
appreciate it.
on. Maybe
Yeah.
after your book's published, we can have you on again to promote the books.
I think so. I think that absolutely. I would love that. Love that very
That would
much.
be awesome.
Hopefully, I get to, and Daniel, hopefully, I get to come and meet you all one day.
that would
That'd
be
be great.
awesome. Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
I'm in Canada and America in July, but I'm not in South Carolina. So.
Oh.
Darn.
Where in America are you coming?
I'm flying into Vancouver. I'm going to the Calgary Stampede, and then going down to like Montana, Spokane, and Seattle, and then to Nashville, and then home.
Oh, Nashville. Cool.
Nashville, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a good time.
Not anywhere near here.
No one is. Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, we'll bring the book tour here.
Hey, what's that? Sorry.
I said we'll bring the book tour here.
Yeah. No, I have to get it done. I look forward to it very much. So.
Awesome.
Well, thanks.
Amazing
for coming
girls.
on.
Yeah. You have a great rest of your day.
Oh, I definitely will. You too.
Yeah.
Bye.
We'll see ya.